In unit 1 we have seen about all topics in introduction to embedded system structural units in embedded processor, selection of processor and memory devices, and DMA memory management methods. In previous class we have seen about timer and counting devices, watchdog timer and RTC real time clock. Today we are going to see about in-circuit emulator and target hardware debugging. The in-circuit emulator is an important question, which is a repeatedly asked an university question. In-circuit emulator, an ideal tool is one that provides visibility into the internal operation of the device or component being emulated. In-circuit emulators or hardware tools that both provides that visibility behave the same as a component being emulated, which is in-circuit emulator is an emulator of microprocessor microcontroller of target circuit development. There are two types of emulators. The in-circuit emulator, which is emulating the microprocessor, and the ROM emulator with the emulates the ROM. In-circuit emulator used to debug the software of an embedded system. It operates by using a processor with the additional ability to support debugging operations as well as to carry out the main function of the system. Easy of developing various applications in single system independent of particular targeted system processor. Motorola provides M68HC1 1 EVM and M68HC EVBM B as the emulator for 68HC11 microcontroller based target system. An in-circuit emulator is a hardware interface that allows the programmer to change or debug the software in an embedded system. An emulator it has some PC and transfer and a receiver port, and through the microcontroller RAM and interface the cable is connected to ROM emulator target using emulator. And in circuit emulator we have seen workstation ICE control, which is a display modifier and which may be PC, and RS2 RS232, which is 2L port memory. Then next is target system. ICE replaces target UP. Okay, features and capabilities available with an in-circuit emulator includes ability to map resource between the target and ability to map resource between target and host, that is programs may be run in either the target or the host. Ability to run and the test code in real time without target hardware. Ability to step or run programs from or to specified states or breakpoints. Ability to observe and modify microprocessor registers. Ability to observe and modify memory contents. And ability to trace program execution using internal logic analysis. It has two types of design. First one is first design, next one is second design. Okay, wow. In circuit emulators has the same in structure, but there is a small changes which may be ROM emulator has been changed into socket, and the RAM interfacing changed into the target system emulator circuit. The first is design consists of microprocessor, micro manufacturer's evolution board with a serial link back to the workstation. From the microprocessor, there is a cable that plugs into the microprocessor socket on the target system. The ICE includes RAM for program development, things that will modify or display memory or microprocessor registers, and allow programs to be executed from an address to breakpoint. Whenever a command is issued from the workstation, the serial device will generate a NMI, which means non-mask able interrupt. We have seen in RTS, okay, causing the microprocessor to break to appropriate actions. All communications between emulator and the workstation will via the serial link. Okay. In case all the emulator or overlay by RAM is dual port, so microprocessor can continue its its normal operations while workstation simultaneously access emulation or overlay memory since the processor makes part in the transfer of information between the host workstation and the emulation memory. There is no need for monitor program in ROM. The monitor program is loaded into ROM by the workstation at the power up. When the microprocessor is required for operations such as modify, display, target memory, the workstation invokes the monitor by generating M. The advantages of in-circuit emulator is software development, that is includes testing in real time, can occur modify display memory and registers. These facilities can be used to more confidently verify the operation of the system, hardware and software. Now we can see about the limitations of circuit emulators. Availability and cost, on-chip functions and transparency, which are all the limitations of emulators. For availability and cost, for even simple microcontrollers, there are many variants to different ICE hardware is required for each. Modern cutting edge microprocessors are operating at very high speeds. To design emulators for these process to design emulators are very challenging and therefore extremely costly. Other tools are available that handle many microprocessor development problems at such at much less cost, so many large design teams may only need one ICE, reducing scales. And the danger of this situation is that when the real difficult problem arises that require an ICE to solve, no one has taken the opportunity to learn how to use its capabilities. And second one is on chip functions, which is the ICE capability is tied to being able to monitor, processor address, data, and control buses. With modern processors, third one is transparency. Transparency implies that the target system does not know if it is interfaced to an ICE or to the real processor, microprocessor. Transparency is physical. Basically, this implies that the ICE has the same pin out and fits into the same socket as the microprocessor being emulated. This is usually achieved using a remote pod and a short cable connector. Functionality this implies that all the pins are functionality the same. For most pins, this true, but usually the ICE will use the non-maskable interrupt, which means NMI. For program cannot implying that is not available to the target. Even the reset pin may be compromised to control the ICE from workstation implies that reset pin whereas the parties is reset in output. Applications of the embedded system is we have already seen small scale medium and more sophisticated medium scale. Okay, we have seen real-time clock, the in-circuit emulator and we have now see about target hardware debugging. Now we are going to see about target hardware debugging. Here, target hardware debugging, even though firmware is a bug, pre-embedded product need not function as per the expected behavior. This should because of drying, scolding, missing connections, unnoticed errors in PCB, etc. Debugging the target board is the only way to sort out these issues. Hardware debugging involves monitoring various signals of the target board, checking connections between the components, and circuit connectivity checking. Hardware debugging tools consist. Hardware debugging tools are magnifying glasses, lens, multimeter, digital CRO, log and logical analyzer, function generator. And circuit continuity checking. And first applications of target hardware debugging tools is it's a magnifying glass which is lens. It is visual inspection tool. Surface of target board can be examined for dry soldering, improper soldering, track damage, etc. Magnifying station incorporates magnifying glass attached to CFL tubes. The station may incorporate multiple lenses. The main lens acts as visual inspection tool. Other small lens is used for magnifying small area of the board for through inspection. Second one is multimeter. Multimeter is used to measuring various electrical quantities. Primary debugging tool for physical contact based hardware debugging. Mainly used for checking circuit continuity, signal value, polarity, measuring supply voltage. Next one is both analog and digital versions are available available. Digital versions have better readability and accuracy. And next one is digital CRO. CRO is used for waveform capturing and analyze measurement of signal strength, etc. It is very good tool to in anything analyzing interference noise in power line and other signal lines. They are available in both analog and both analog and digital form. Digital CROs are suitable for high frequency support and best suited and or target board debugging. Logic analyzer used for capturing digital data from digital circuitry. It contains special connectors and clips attached to target board. It captures states of various port pins, address bus and data bus of target bus processor. Logic analysis gives extract reflections of what happens when the timer is running. Next one is function generator. It is an input signal for simulator tool which is a AFO. Okay. And next we can see CRO. AFO. It is an input signal. It is an input signal simulator tool. It is capable of producing various periodic waveforms like sine, square, sawtooth waves and ramp, etc. The waveforms are different frequencies and amplitudes. In debugging environment, the functions generator serves the purpose of the generating and supplying required signals. In this session, we have seen about what is meant by in-circuit emulator and types of circuit emulators and target hardware debugging. Okay, first we have seen about introduction to embedded system. Second, we have seen about structural units in embedded processor and selections of processor and memory device, and DME memory management methods, timer and counting device, watchdog timer and real time clock, in circuit emulator, target hardware debugging. Okay, we have seen about target hardware debugging.